Welcome to Therapists Say, the podcast where we talk about real life, real feelings, and the stuff everyone's dealing with, but no one really explains. We're here to make mental health make sense, keep things honest, and remind you that you're not the only one trying to figure it all out. Therapists Say is brought to you by Full Circle Therapy and Inner Wellness Therapeutic Services. Let's get into today's episode. And welcome back to another episode of Therapists Say. I'm your host, Mel.
I'm your other host, Liz.
I'm the co-host, Barry.
And we're back for season 4.
Oh, wow.
Today's
Right.
season 4, episode 1. Very exciting.
Yep, no break.
No, we don't need. Do we have shrink wrap?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow. We're just going to go
Wow.
straight into it.
Yeah, I mean, Prosimi, not much time left,
No,
right? She's
so
moving
sad.
the end of this month, I assume. She said June.
Yeah.
This is May.
Mhm.
So you have limited time to get your 5% off by mentioning
Mhm.
Therapists Say. We haven't said that in a while.
Yeah.
I think everything else we've covered. I did run into Veronica again, and she said
Did she
that she needs to prepare a statement because I fuck it up every single time.
She needs to submit a.
Yeah, I told her to send me a text, but she did not. So
Oh.
yeah.
What did she have to prepare a statement for?
Just that she has always said, although I don't know that I agree with this, which is why this is how this happens.
'Cause then you
right?
say, I don't agree.
Right. She said that she's always said it's way too complicated to guess the sun sign.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, and what else did she say? Just that, I forget what she said about you. She did say something that now that she knows you're chatty,
Oh, the
but
chatty
she
thing.
barely knows you guys, so
Mhm.
she feels she will die on the Aries hill for me.
Mm.
But I have yet to contact the hospital I was born in.
Oh, that's
to try
right.
to get my time of birth,
You had homework.
which is a hassle
That
for me.
sounds like quite the hassle.
I think for anyone it's a hassle, but I also wasn't born with this name. I changed my name because I had a
I didn't know
stepfather.
that. Oh,
yeah.
I did know that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So my stepfather raised me, and my parents
Right.
registered me in school under William Berry. Like, I always went by William Berry, but that wasn't my born name.
Mhm.
So that makes it even more
What is it?
complicated. We're not talking about that.
I'm curious.
It's awful.
Are you
Deeper
I'm not
Digger.
giving anybody
Are you a Smith?
yeah, that's what it is. John Smith. That's
William.
what I was born.
Will Smith.
No. Very funny.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Your children know? Do your children know?
I'm sure
I would think.
they know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
New mission
That's kinda-
unlocked.
That kind of brings us to today's episode, right?
That does. What a good segue, Liz.
Yeah, look at me.
Ian had said that
Oh, that makes
we should do
sense.
an episode about being raised by a therapist
Mhm.
because we had done the relationships episode.
Mhm.
He had said it after
Yes.
the relationships episode. I said it in shrink wrap last episode. And then we did that, right?
We did.
We
You
did,
guys did.
right?
Well, Mel did. Mel did all the work.
I did all the work.
Because
So-
she wanted to. Like,
I mean,
'Cause Liz is pregnant.
I just felt like what would be the easiest way to
Mhm.
survey the children of therapists.
the
Right.
children who can write and read.
Right.
Right.
We're not asking like the 3
didn't-
and 2-year-olds.
Yeah, we didn't ask my children.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I did actually, and they said they're
That's
really glad their mom is a therapist
Oh.
No.
so that they get to go to Disney twice a month. That's what they said.
I haven't been to Disney in a long time.
Yeah,
That's what they would say.
and
Yeah.
Okay.
so yes, we did not interview the little one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
from 12
So we interviewed
up.
again.
12 up.
Again, I feel like this is so slanted because when we did the relationships episode, it was 3 or 4 of the people I've been with,
Oh, yeah.
right? And now
It's,
this time it's 4 of my
Well,
4 offspring
you have they're
Right.
over the age of 12.
and
One of mine,
one of yours,
Who can read
Sienna,
and write.
who's 12.
Sienna.
Mhm.
Okay. So I made
A survey.
Survey Monkeys and I sent it to all 5 of them. Which, by the way, was a little difficult to send to all of Barry's children at the same time because one of them is in Spain and I couldn't.
Well, she was here,
Yes.
actually.
Hmm.
She was here, but right, her phone doesn't have a text number,
Mhm.
right? You have to WhatsApp or
Oh.
Signal.
Oh.
She uses Signal. We all use Signal,
But I
you
was
had
not
never heard
aware.
of Signal.
No.
And then my other,
Actually, I think I had heard of Signal
I've never heard
as
of that.
like a cheating app. Yeah.
okay,
Like
really?
a secret texting app that
Okay.
you use to,
Well, I've
text someone you're having an affair with. So I
We-
had never used it.
my understanding, and I could be wrong, is we use it because people hate Facebook Meta taking over
Oh.
everything, and it owns WhatsApp, and Signal is
Oh.
not owned by WhatsApp, so it's more secure. But it's
And
strictly
secretive, I'm
like the
sure.
only thing
Mhm.
we use it for.
What are
Like
you
the only
talking about that
people I
needs to be
talk to
secure?
on there is my kids.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
well,
we have a family
I
chat.
wasn't aware. I thought that maybe Alexi
Okay.
had WhatsApp. So I started a WhatsApp group, and then
They were like,
I could only add 2 of them, and then the other 2 I guess got like
Alexi does have WhatsApp.
yes, Alexi was on there and AJ.
Okay.
But then Ian and Joe didn't have it. So then I
Right.
started to download Signal, and then I created a Signal chat, and then I couldn't send it to them because they had to approve it. It was a whole thing, and I
Gave
came out looking like an old lady who doesn't know how to use technology.
That's great.
That's correct. Yeah. So then, anyways, I had to split them up. I had to send 2 in one chat, 2 in another. It was a whole thing, but everybody completed the surveys
completed the assignment.
and we have our
Right.
information.
And I haven't seen my kid's response, and you have
Mhm.
not seen your child's response.
That's correct. So
I
today,
have seen everybody's
yeah.
response.
So
Right.
that's why
And
you're in
Liz,
charge.
this is Liz's debut as a news reporter. So take it away, Liz.
I quit.
So today we're going to embark on a journey of finding out if our kids are emotionally stable or just know if
Like, can explain their
Yeah.
toxic behavior.
Right.
That was a great
Yeah.
question.
yeah. Or
All right.
yeah.
So I don't really know how you wanted to get into this though, because you didn't give me all of the questions for us to discuss.
You don't even need to do that. It's very simple. It explains it on the sheet of paper I printed for you.
It just says set the rules. So you guys are gonna guess who said what.
Yeah. Great.
Shouldn't
Really?
we know the question?
What it
Okay, segment one.
No, you're not supposed to say that this is segment 1.
This is segment one.
Oh my god.
One sentence.
You failed broadcasting school.
Yeah, because this wasn't. I wasn't prepared for this. One sentence summaries. So we are gonna guess.
Okay, I guess pull up the question on your
It
phone.
says one sentence summaries.
A summary of what?
Exactly.
That's why I said pull up your phone. Fine.
Okay. So the first question was a one sentence summary of what it was like to be raised by a therapist.
So this is basically Barry has
Barry,
to decide
yeah,
if he really
okay.
knows his kids.
So now do you really know who do you think A, deep, intellectual, self-aware explanation?
I would narrow that down to either Alexi or Ian.
Okay, pick one.
Mostly, I'm gonna say Ian because I feel Ian lately, Ian has been, I don't know, more reflective and like we chat every morning a little bit. Our relationship has gotten a lot closer, and I feel he's been more on a positive.
Journey.
Yeah,
Correct.
I feel that was pretty positive.
Yeah.
Mhm. Correct.
Wow,
Okay.
look at you.
Correct.
Good
Yes.
job.
So many lectures.
That's either AJ or Joe.
Pick one.
I'm gonna go with AJ.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
I'm impressed.
It is what I know.
Joe.
Yeah, for sure.
And then last but not least, normal, but with more fear of addiction.
I guess Alexi.
It's Alexi.
I wouldn't. I'm glad I did process of elimination because I wouldn't have guessed Alexi for that.
For that one.
Yeah. Like if you had read that one first, I would have had a tougher time. But,
Right.
But having narrowed it down, the other ones.
And I do
Yeah.
want to talk about after we
Yeah,
play
I'm
this
glad
game.
I got them all
You
right.
got
I
them
feel
all.
pretty
you know your
accomplished
kids,
right now. this could have went really badly.
Right. I do want to talk about, afterwards we get through these questions, how heavily focused your children's answers were specifically on addiction.
Right. Okay. But let me explain, right?
Well,
like,
yeah.
they come, like, there's a lot of genetics in their family of addiction. Like we've talked about, I'm in recovery, right? So I had an addiction. Their moms, dads had alcohol problems, which, you know, that's
Right.
also addiction.
Right.
My grandfather had addiction. So the genetic material is there. So I was just trying my best to keep them from becoming addicted. Yeah.
Right.
I probably overemphasized that. I would not change it though.
Right.
Like I feel like they are at high risk.
Of course.
And I spent a lot of time trying to impart that to them so that they tried to do moderation and tried not to. Yeah.
And we're aware.
I didn't want to see them become addicted. That's a bad lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's interesting.
I mean, I'm guilty of that.
The second question was, what's the most therapist kid thing you've ever caught yourself doing and thought, wow, I was definitely raised by a therapist?
Right.
Okay. So the answers were: somebody felt that they therapized their friends but learned to stop. Someone else said doesn't even see dad as a therapist. So
I don't know if that's good or bad.
that person.
Oops.
Somebody else said analyzing people's thought process. And someone else said suggesting therapy to everyone. And finally, someone said that they were the therapist to all their friends.
I guess that's Sienna's. I remember the other one.
That is Sienna's.
Aw,
she feels like she's everyone's therapist.
Aww.
Yeah.
I felt like that too as a kid, and I wasn't raised as a therapist.
There's no way I'm guessing those. Like, that's insane to try to guess those.
Okay, so
well, who do you think doesn't see dad as a therapist was?
Alexi.
No, wrong.
Okay.
Incorrect.
All right.
Who was it?
She suggests therapy to everyone.
Oh, that makes sense.
Would you want one more guess or no?
Sure. I'm eliminating AJ. So if
Why?
it is AJ, doesn't see me as a therapist. I think I've been the most therapist-like with him.
But you know what?
Because there's AJ is the youngest.
Right.
And there's 10 years between him and Ian.
Was AJ respondent number 2?
So I have
Did you mess this up?
No. His actual quote is, "This question is especially difficult because I feel as though I don't really see the therapist side of him. I only see him as my dad. So all of those moments are, wow, I really am my father's son." And I don't know if any of those moments would be anywhere near classified as a therapist kid.
Right. Okay. The reason I eliminated AJ, and I shouldn't have, is because between the 3 older kids, right, and AJ, 10 years difference, I feel like I became more therapeutic in my approach,
as
right? I went to grad school. You know what I mean? I changed as a human, I think, and I felt like I was probably the most therapist-like with AJ.
Which I think is interesting because he's the youngest. Even just like youngest child dynamic, how he still was like, no, it was normal.
Right. Like he sees this is just who I am.
Right.
He's not seeing the therapist side. And also, I think some of the things he's talking about is our attitudes toward things. There's been times when he was younger and his mom and I would both go to games, even though we were divorced. And she would be like, he gets that from you.
Right.
Like his attitude toward the refs, his argumentativeness, you know what I mean? His like,
is he more
his kind
like
of
you
Philly
too?
attitude. Like he has a very Philly attitude, even though he was born in Florida.
Here.
Yeah.
He would say that you're more closely aligned in personality? You said him and Ian before. You've said
I don't know. I feel like all of my kids
You've
have
said that
aspects.
before.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, you've
like
said that.
like I relate to them all at different, like on different levels
Right.
of myself. Yeah.
Actually, no, I think you've said before Alexi is probably most like you.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever said who is most like
Mm.
me.
Mm.
Like AJ is definitely like me in ways, but so is Joe.
Right.
So is Ian. So is Alexi.
Yeah.
So it would be hard for me to say which is most like me. I just see myself in each of them,
Yeah.
I guess. So I'm surprised that was AJ, because I do feel like I've been the easiest on him. I've been like more talk rather than yell. You know what I mean? With the other kids, I was also, you have 3 kids, you're poor. You know what I mean? You're like, you're stressed. Yeah, you're younger, you're more stressed out. I feel as if perhaps I wasn't as therapist-like with them.
Right.
I was only doing drug and alcohol treatment when they were kids, which is very confrontational, very in your face.
Right.
So yeah, I would have eliminated AJ from that. So that's interesting.
That is interesting.
How do you feel about Sienna's answer, since
Say it again?
that she the most, like, she's therapizing all her friends, I think. Which one? I wonder which one of my kids said similar to Sienna, right?
Ian.
Oh, Ian. Did he used to therapize his friends and he stopped? So
and Joe said similarly too, though, like analyzing people's thought processes.
Ian said, just like every college freshman who's taking their first psychology class, I began therapizing my friends and partners without them asking for that, probably frustrating them and definitely frustrating myself for not being able to be a friend and offer support without analyzing their behavior and emotions. Eventually, I grew out of it and keep my analysis to myself rather than telling people why they do or feel what they do or feel.
I'm looking for Sienna's. She said, whenever my friends are sad, I'm always the one to help them. And in the outcome, I always feel like a therapist.
Oh. Well, I'm kind of proud of her.
Why wouldn't you be?
Yeah, I'm proud because I feel like it's nicer than like being mean. Like,
right.
but I think that's like one of my biggest things with her is I'm always like telling her to be more neutral or like not like take sides with anybody. And so
that's a great quality, I think.
Right.
Personally.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This next question has to do with family fighting. So the question was, did arguments in your house feel more like normal family fights or like you accidentally got pulled into a therapy session you didn't ask for? One person said everything could be a therapy session, birthdays included. Somebody said just felt normal.
That feels awful.
Somebody said you didn't really have arguments. And then someone else said normal unless it turned into group therapy. Sienna said, I accidentally got pulled into a therapy session because she always tries to fix the problem because she always ends up clearing the problem.
Right. The question was, were family fights normal or did they feel like therapy sessions? And Sienna was like, absolutely a therapy session.
Right.
That's like her mom, Mel, clears the problem every time.
Right. Which I don't think that's a bad thing.
You make it a therapy session and then you clear the problem. It sounded good to me.
Me too.
It's very solution focused of me.
Very solution focused.
Okay. I'll allow it. Okay.
So I would say the one that said he didn't see fights would probably be AJ. That would be
felt normal. He said it felt normal.
Yeah. Oh, he said felt normal? Who said there weren't any fights?
Joe.
Oh. I mean, I didn't fight a lot, like with my exes. I don't feel like
sounds like you really didn't.
Yeah. I don't feel like we fought a lot.
Yeah.
AJ said, I can't really remember a time when I fought with my father, but any I've witnessed within the family have felt like normal family fights. Ian said, anything could be a therapy session, not just arguments, but dinner conversations, birthdays, weekend visits. Luckily, I'm super well adjusted, so this was mostly geared towards my siblings.
That was my favorite response.
Yeah, I think he might have been being sarcastic.
Where is he in the birth order?
He's
third.
Middle, right? Yeah, third.
So the youngest of those three.
Yeah.
Joe's
he's the
was the
baby.
In that
most
dynamic.
insightful one.
Joe's was?
Yeah.
Mhm. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Didn't have arguments generally. End quote.
Yeah.
And Alexi said, generally normal and infrequent, I think, unless premeditated. Premeditated being parents have news and want to deliver it carefully and check on mine and my siblings' reactions. For example, well-intentioned but unsolicited group therapy sessions.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Were you like breaking the heavy news to
Like
them on the
the
regular?
I mean,
divorce?
sometimes, you know, I guess.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Like sat them all down.
Like a
I
family
guess,
meeting?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like about different aspects, you know? Yeah. I guess. Like, why are you
Did you
looking at
like
me?
sit them down and like
Yeah,
tell
I-
them like we're gonna get divorced? Was that like one of them?
Probably. And
Oh.
probably also when I got divorced from AJ's mom. And
Mm.
I had other relationships in between that probably ended.
And sat down.
And so every time you would sit them down and tell
I'm
them?
sure there were other good things
Oh,
that we would sit them down and talk about. Yeah.
Like, we're going to.
We're moving to Florida. Like, how about that? You know what I mean?
Oh,
She was like 13 when we moved.
Oh,
here.
wow. Hard age.
Yeah.
To do like
Yeah,
adjustments.
she did not want to come here.
Yeah.
She hated it.
Mm.
She hated it when we came
She's
here.
the oldest, right?
Yeah.
Okay, last one, and I think this is the best one. And I don't want to read the summaries because I remember one of your children's answers, and I want you to hear it.
Okay.
So the next one, question 4.
Do you think being raised by a therapist made you more emotionally healthy or just better at explaining your toxic behaviors?
Okay.
Okay.
First person.
Okay. Number 1, I'm super well adjusted. I don't have toxic behaviors. I'm everyone's favorite, but honestly, I can catch myself before exhibiting behaviors that would be non-productive. Following the train of thought, I believe my father influenced me to be emotionally healthy as I got older. However, when I was younger, I used this knowledge to justify my behavior. It's in my nature. This is what people do, not seeking to grow and be better, but dismissing toxic traits as normal.
Ian.
Yeah.
Right.
100%. Like, I didn't even have to think about that.
The next one was both. Some things I'm more emotionally healthy with, and others I'm better at explaining my toxic behavior.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
Joe.
No.
No?
No.
No.
AJ.
AJ.
Yeah.
He's really throughout his answers are
Yeah.
surprising you the most.
Yeah. The next one, neither. Though I'm aware of my behavior, won't change it though.
Joe.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one, well, the last of your kids said, oh yeah, this one was my favorite. I have no toxic behavior, and how dare you imply otherwise?
There's only one left.
Right.
Alexi.
Yeah,
That was
her answer.
hilarious.
That's just her answer.
Right.
that was it. What did Sienna say?
Sienna said, more emotionally healthy because I know how to solve problems thanks to my mom.
Can you tell what therapeutic modality Melissa uses?
Right?
I think it's more than that, honestly.
Right.
I think, like, I don't know.
Yeah, so one thing I did want to say that didn't really come up, I guess, in these ChatGPT summaries was Sienna's answers were heavily influenced about being, and I guess I'll have to put a disclaimer in the or you have to put a disclaimer in the beginning of this episode because we're gonna say raped. So Sienna's
What?
Yeah.
Sienna's answers primarily had to do with being kidnapped or raped.
Yeah.
What?
Right. That's right. So that's the downside of having a parent as a therapist. Like, I'll find what she said.
Right.
But
So you can, yeah.
But
and-
I don't know if that's just because you're a therapist. Like, I would argue that a lot of my students say that about their parents, that they weren't allowed to have sleepovers because somebody was going to rape them. Like, I think it's more a Cuban thing.
Well, I let her have sleepovers. Like, she sleeps over.
No,
her
I
friends'
feel
houses.
like it has a lot to do with us being therapists who are females and who we work with and what we see. And that's why I thought it was really interesting when I had like texted in the group chat. I had lots of thoughts that you have always, not now you don't only work with substance abuse, but the beginning of your career was heavily influenced by substance abuse and working in facilities. so it makes sense. And as you explained, like there's a family history of
right.
addiction.
I think I would have been doing that even if I didn't work in addiction.
Right.
Honestly, like that, because I had an addiction.
Right,
Mhm.
right. And I think me and Mel, like my entire caseload is trauma and PTSD, and unfortunately, like a lot of those things happen. Mel has also seen a lot.
Right. Yeah. When I first became a therapist,
We
I
worked at Women's in Distress, so
Right.
we both I like she worked there in her internship, and so did I. So I think it was really interesting to see that like that was Sienna's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I also think that she's at an age right now. She's 12. She's going to be 13 in July. And she's at an age where she wants to hang out with boys and is starting to talk to boys. And I've always been really big on talking about people that are safe or labeling your body parts with
Correctly.
their correct names. And I've always been big on talking to my kids about sexual health and how to stay safe. And so maybe I overdo it, but
not the taboo rate, because I
know.
would say the Hispanic culture prefers to not talk about it. Like if you
Right.
talk about sex, then your kid is going to have sex. But if you don't talk about sex, then they're not going to have sex.
Okay. And that might be true, but I'm going to stick to my argument. And I take into consideration you guys both worked at Women in Distress and you've seen a lot of that. I have also, right? Like even in addiction treatment, there's a tremendous amount of sexual trauma
and abuse
in women, especially, but also in men, that leads to, you know, substance abuse as a coping strategy. But I do feel like when I moved down here, I started hearing that all the time, teaching about how they weren't allowed to have sleepovers, they weren't allowed to go out, and it was all like you're going to get not kidnapped as much as raped, right? Or sex trafficked would be the new thing now, which is kidnapping, right? So Sienna did say, like in the first question about the one sentence, right? What it's like being raised by a therapist. She said, the bad is she gets traumatized by her clients and thinks those bad things will happen to me. And then where she actually mentioned rape was question 9. What was the most annoying part about being raised by a therapist? Something you wished you could have changed then, and honestly probably still do now, that she thinks I'm going to get kidnapped and raped. Like that's the whole answer.
End quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's at a stage right now where she wants to like be out constantly, and she's only 12 and she thinks that she's 15, 16 years old and could like drive her ass around town and do as she pleases.
Right.
I'm on your team for this one. I would not let a I think we exchanged texts about this.
We talked about it.
And I'm on your team. She's 12. You said she identifies as a 16-year-old. To me, that's already a problem.
I know.
Right.
It is. Me too.
Like,
and I worry about it.
Yeah. And I think kids today want to grow up too fast.
Absolutely.
And then they regret it. So I think you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
But my argument is that it might be more global than just having a mom as a therapist.
Well, I agree. Yeah.
You know?
I would agree with that too.
Yeah. And now, like, I remember when I was 12, especially during the summer, I would leave and hang out in the neighborhood with my best friend who was my neighbor and also went to school with me all of elementary and high school and middle school. And we would leave at like 10 in the morning on our bicycles and we would spend all day until like PM.
And there was no cell phones like there are today or tracking.
For sure.
We knew to come home to either her house or our house for lunch to eat something. And then we would go back out, or we would hang out at my house. We would hang out at her house.
You guys used to ride your bikes to Publix to do your nails.
Yeah.
Like
we
I
would
remember
go do our nails
that.
and have lunch at the little Italian place. I would never let Sienna do that.
I would never.
There's a psychologist that makes an argument that that's part of the problem.
That we won't let them do it.
That we won't let them do it, and we were able to do it, right? Jonathan Haidt is the psychologist. He's written a bunch of books. I can't remember which book it's in. I did not read it, but I heard him on a podcast. And his argument is, ever since milk cartons started showing missing kids, we've come to believe our kids are going to get kidnapped when that rarely happens. It still rarely happens. And as such, we haven't given them freedom. We're overprotecting them. You know what I mean? They need to go out and have this kind of activity, and instead they're on
Their phones.
iPhones
Yeah.
and iPads or
Mhm.
whatever, and playing video games because we can keep them contained.
And controlled.
Yeah, he makes a really good argument that we should reverse that. But I get it. Like, I'm older than you, way older than you, and yeah, I was out all day. You know, my parents did not worry about me being kidnapped.
I wasn't, though. I feel like that already changed by the time, or maybe it was our neighborhood too, because I think I was the youngest probably in our neighborhood, and maybe there wasn't kids really.
Well, there was Emily and the next door neighbors.
Yeah.
But things started to change
by the time. Yeah.
There was already a little bit of social media. There was like phones and texting and
a little bit. Yeah. I would say like I didn't spend, like I remember my siblings being outside. Like I remember my brother had a bike that had pegs, and he begged my grandpa to install pegs so that he could pick up all his little friends in the neighborhood. And there was a bunch of basically kids on his bike. Like,
yeah, he could pick up like two friends, like
right,
one in
the front and one in the back.
Right.
And I remember that. And I do remember my siblings.
I just had this image of your brother on a bike with like a clown car.
But
like, what are you talking about?
But
pegs are like one. I thought one person,
no,
but okay,
yeah.
I could see two.
There was in the
All
front,
right.
and they would sit on the steering wheel.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I do remember my siblings, and I remember always there being at my house like a bunch of neighborhood kids. Like there was always like her best friend till this day. Like she was always there. Like her brother. She had a brother. Yeah, and our kids can't do that. And at all, I would never.
I mean, I just said I was on your team, and then I told this whole like psychological research that suggests you should let Sienna have more freedom.
She has a lot of freedom.
She does whatever she wants.
Yeah.
I just meant, all right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, you know.
No, but
holy shit, I hit a button there.
No, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like she wants like an electric scooter.
No.
Like so bad. And she wants to like be able to go with her friends too. She asked me the other day, like, can I like ride it to Publix or something? No. It's closer. That Publix is closer to my house than the Publix that me and Christina used to ride to. And I'm kind of like, no, because you have to like cross like a street. But I crossed multiple streets.
Right.
They seemed quieter, maybe.
I
than
used
the streets
to
she has to cross.
Right.
And so like I'm
and horses are so much slower than cars.
Yeah. But no,
I want to, but then I start thinking of, and she's right. I start thinking of stories of like that clients have told me and things that have happened to them.
Well, and also Joe works in the hospital, and all of the horrific pediatric cases are these e-scooters.
So we've turned this podcast into why Sienna is traumatized.
Why we don't let Sienna in.
Yeah, is she going to listen to this?
She told me, she said that she was going to make a point to listen to this one because she was going to be featured.
Right. Yes. She is featured.
We're just talking about what we can let her do. I mean, I used to, but I was at that rate. I was in college, or I was literally in college. I used to rollerblade to the gym, but I was an adult rollerblading to the gym. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was far.
So what's the answer? Like, what are we coming up with?
I do think that we've like become...
We overprotect our children.
We've lost the plot.
Yeah.
I think there should have been a way that, okay, we can sit on the front porch and they can play, you know, outside still with their little neighborhood friends.
Just recently, let them start riding their bikes and their scooters out front again, because we had a client with a horrific story.
And a friend, and our friend.
Of something that happened to one of their kids outside playing. And so then I wouldn't let my kids ride their scooter or their bikes out front.
Yeah.
Which is messed up, because they should be able to do that. But because I'm traumatized, then I don't let them do those things.
Right. So the therapists, I think, are the problem, and the kids are suffering at the end of the day with the parents.
Right. Well, I did not do that. like I don't think I overprotected my kids. I might have lectured a bit about
No.
addiction.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think even if I didn't work in addiction,
Right.
because
You
I
would have done
had
that
an
anyways.
addiction and I'm in recovery, I think I would have done it anyway. Yeah.
Right.
Because the only way to prevent it would have been to like talk about it.
Of course.
If you can even prevent it, like, you know what I
Well,
mean?
that's
But I think it helps.
Me and you have had a discussion before that there does come a point where you can't protect your children.
Right.
Like, and I think that's a very hard pill to swallow.
Right.
Like, not just as a mom, like I think for any parent, that at the end of the day, we kind of can't control.
Right.
I mean, we can't. Like, we can try.
Yeah, we can do as much as we can do. Yeah, the same psychologist I was talking about, Jonathan Haidt, in one of the books I read called The Happiness Hypotheses, he talks about if you could foresee all the bad things that were going to happen to your kids, you would do your best to not let them happen. But what you would end up with is a very fragile adult.
Yeah.
Right.
Like bad things have to happen. Not rape and kidnapping, okay? But like, you know, a skin knee, whatever.
Right.
You know, maybe a broken bone, you know, like kids break bones. I mean, those kind of things have to happen in order for them to have any resiliency as an adult.
And I agree with that. I think the experiences that have shaped me and my personality the most have been the ones that I was able to get myself out of crazy situations.
What, like, this reminds me of, I teach psychopathology, and one of the first times I taught it, we were talking about anxiety, and one of my friends who's Colombian calls it Hispanic panic. Right? That's what she calls it.
That's great.
So, yeah.
I like that.
Oh my
I should start
God,
using
Liz
Hispanic
has
panic.
Hispanic panic.
I have Hispanic panic. I do.
So that's what my friend Lily, I'll give her a shout out. She listens to the podcast.
I'm going to use that.
Like she's been calling it that. I've known her almost 20 years at this point. We went to grad school together. She calls it Hispanic panic, right? Like we're friends. Sometimes I would have to talk her down about her Hispanic panic, right?
Oh my God. Me and Lily should be friends.
And when I was in teaching psychopathology one of the first times, some of the students were like talking about all the things they're worried about and how their parents worry. And I was like, look, like this is, you know, I don't worry about my kids the way you guys do.
I've heard all this
right,
story.
You've heard the story. And they were like, white people don't care about their kids. And I was like, that's not true, but I do have faith that my kids are going to be okay. And I think as they were coming up, I really tried to not overprotect them.
That's hard
for
me.
There were no questions about being overprotected. Sienna seems to think you're overprotecting her.
She does.
And, you know, we'd have to get my kids on the line right now to find out if they ever felt overprotected by me. I tend to doubt it by me. I mean, I remember my sons, when they had those airsoft guns, we used to play war in the neighborhood and I would shoot them. Like, I don't think I overprotected them.
I don't think the answers leaned towards feeling overprotected.
No. And one time, Denise, AJ's mom, when my older kids were there, I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee at the time. They were hanging off the Jeep Grand Cherokee as I was driving. And she was like, you cannot do this. Like, I used to get chastised by moms for doing things, but I think that's dads. Like, I think dads are much more...
Well, I think that's dads too, because Eddie, like, can throw our kids like 10 feet in the air, and I'm like, can you not throw them like 10? And it's quite impressive how high he can throw these little children.
All right, all the listeners right now are like, yeah, I don't know. That does not sound good. You're not cutting that out either. No. That's staying in.
I mean, like throwing up.
It is impressive how high Eddie can throw my children.
It is true.
It is. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he can.
He can.
Yeah,
it is true.
And like now that Grayson's getting older, like
there was one response that I think is worthy of talking about. Well, there was many responses worthy of talking about, but one that sticks out is respondent number 2. Who was responded to?
AJ.
The question that said, what was what was the most annoying part about being raised by a therapist? Something you wish you could have changed then and honestly probably still do now. He said the random phone calls he would get while spending time with me and where he'd have to talk to a client for what could be an hour or two, which isn't ideal when you already have limited time together.
Right. Yeah.
Sad. I was guilty. I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah. And one in particular that comes to mind is he was at a birthday party at the jumping place.
Oh, like those Sky Zone places.
Yeah, Sky Zone type place.
Yeah.
And I was there with him. It was my weekend, or it was a weekend, and I was there with him. And I got a call from a suicidal client, and I had to drive to the office to get the information. I had to leave another parent. Like I knew one of the other parents. I was like, can you keep an eye on him? I have this emergency I have to deal with. So yeah. Yeah, that has happened.
Yeah. My kids will say that too. I'll be like calling or get a phone call or something.
And that's probably more because we're in private practice.
Right.
So,
then not an agency that you can kind
where
of just...
somebody's on call. Right. So yeah. That is a sad answer.
I know.
Yeah. Sorry about that, bud.
Oh.
But I could relate to that one. I mean, my kids are telling me things like that all the time to my face.
That's a tough one.
To that question, Joe responded, every serious discussion becomes a session.
Probably, yeah.
Annoying. And I feel like Sienna would probably feel the same way about that too. Oh, but she responded to that one
very positively. Which question?
You know what we didn't ask Sienna, and I wanted to incorporate, because Sienna has both a mom and an aunt as a therapist. Like, does she feel...
I think she probably feels the same about both of us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one where she said kidnapped and raped.
Oh, there you go.
That's the most annoying part.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. And I think that's true of AJ also.
Yeah.
AJ's mom was a therapist. Like we met at
I forgot
center.
about that.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
So both his parents are therapists. Is she still a therapist?
She's an occupational therapist now.
Oh, okay.
She went into occupation. Like
from mental health?
Yeah, because she saw kids up in Philadelphia, and when we moved down here, she couldn't get licensed.
Oh,
so it was either go back to grad school. She already had a degree in counseling psychology, but no graduate programs let you take one or two classes.
So she had to redo it completely.
She would have had to redo it completely, so she went into occupational therapy.
Oh,
like
I
she if she was going to get another degree.
But she has a background in therapy.
Yeah, she has a master's degree in psychology and a master's degree in occupational therapy.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, and she has been she's been a therapist.
She's been a therapist. Yeah. That's
so he has both parents.
But now she's just an OT.
Yes.
That's interesting.
That's interesting for him. Because I wonder if she doesn't even realize, like, if she's still
having an impact. Like we could have asked him the questions from his mom.
Right.
I did think of it for a second.
AJ, give us just like a summary later.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do
for shrink wrap
the whole,
next time.
The whole questionnaire again.
Wrap.
But
maybe just a summary of, has your mom's like therapeutic background had an impact?
Right.
That was the one that Alexi said pass. Not because I don't want to share, but genuinely I'm struggling to come up with an answer of what was annoying.
Oh, maybe she doesn't think you're annoying.
Yeah.
Maybe she hasn't felt I was too annoying.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Very nice.
Yeah. I mean, I feel pretty good about the answers.
No, we'll send them so you can read. Like, they were all very nice answers.
Yeah, I was worried.
No.
A little. I wonder if Liz has learned anything from this. Like,
yeah.
Because here you are with two older therapists that have raised older kids. Like, are you going to do anything differently?
And I'm definitely the most anxious out of the three of us. So,
yes, you are.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
You have Hispanic panic. We've established that.
I love that. I don't love that for me, but I love the nickname.
Panic.
Yeah.
It's a great nickname.
Great nickname. I ask my sister all the time, like, oh God, what am I going to do when they get to this age? Because I think it's very hard for me sometimes to separate the things that I hear at work to happening to my kids or not happening to my kids or like.
I mean, it is horrible. Like the things we hear as therapists and what people have done to our clients
is horrific.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
And I
Really.
think what you said, I've been thinking about too, of like the likelihood of a child being stolen is not very.
Right, but sexual abuse, like I don't want to minimize that.
No.
Like
I'm thinking
in the
kidnapping.
psychopathology
Yeah.
class I teach, they say 1 in 6 women have been
Mhm.
Right.
sexually assaulted. 1 in 6, that's horrible.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, and I think, like, I know you say like it's like like, I think as a therapist and maybe as a Hispanic therapist, like, no, my kids aren't sleeping at anyone's house. Like,
Mhm.
especially.
I think that's sad though. Like
I know.
I think sleepovers,
Those were like my best memories.
like
I
there's
think
so
it's-
much fun for kids.
Mhm.
It's so hard. I mean, and I guess maybe I'll feel differently once I get there.
Well, I
hopefully.
think you might feel differently like when they have like a set group of friends.
Yeah,
like,
that I know the parents and all of
Yeah.
Like
all of-
Sienna's not
yeah.
allowed to sleep over like anybody's house, but she has 3 best friends that she's been in school with since they were in pre-K 3.
Yeah.
And those are basically the only people's
Right.
houses
Mhm.
she sleeps over. And Leilani only one who is the
Sister.
sister of one of those
Yeah.
3 friends.
So yeah, I mean, I think I will feel differently once that time comes.
Mhm.
Just as far as knowing the parents go, that was like when AJ was entering that age of like going to
Yeah.
parties and stuff, and I had him on the weekends. I would have to drive him and drop him off, and his mom would be like, "Make sure you like talk to the parents." And I was like, and then I never did.
What?
Like 100%. I was like, dude, I'm not doing that. Like,
That's something Joe would say too.
I just feel like, okay, I'm gonna meet them for 5 minutes. I'm gonna be able to determine, are they gonna rape my kid or not?
That
Like,
and at
probably
that
not.
point you're already there and you're gonna be like, oh, you know what? I didn't like your face. Like,
Right.
let's go,
Right.
AJ.
Right.
Get back
I
in
don't
the
trust
car.
these people. Let's go.
Right.
Like, I don't see what good that would have done. Like
Right.
an introduction and a couple of minutes. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I mean, maybe like give them my number or something.
Yeah,
that might have been a good intervention.
Helpful,
But
yeah.
I got
but I mean, he was old enough. I think he had a cell phone.
Oh.
He can call me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, whatever. I just feel like that whole idea of like, how many people it's somebody they know. Like
Well,
most people
always,
that
yeah.
most
I mean,
sexual assaults are people that the
or a
family
family
knew.
or a family member.
Exactly. Right.
With
Yes,
somebody with close
so,
access.
and you know them,
Mm-hmm.
right? So meeting somebody for 10 minutes or even thinking you know them, you don't.
Right.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, I'm not trying to make it more scary.
No, but
I'm
those
just
aren't-
saying that
Facts.
Kids
I
are
don't
going
know.
anywhere.
I mean, maybe you get a vibe, maybe.
Mhm.
But I think that's an illusion of control we have where
Right.
like we think, oh, I knew this. No, you're going to be shocked. you
Well,
know?
this is why the way that I am trying to raise Sienna is more to make her aware and be able to identify
An
or-
unsafe safe situation.
yeah, or like know to trust her gut when something doesn't feel right, or know how to say no, or to not be afraid to get a hold of me, to be
Right.
like, can you just pick me up? Like, and those are the conversations I have with her a lot, which maybe she's interpreting as you're just scared I'm going to get raped or kidnapped. But I want her to know that she can be in control of certain
Right.
situations
Right.
too.
Right. I love that. I'm watching. I thought of 2 things. One is last episode I mentioned that there was a show that I was scrolling through and it had a woman that like kept changing realities.
Oh yeah.
I ended up watching that with my
Mhm.
daughter while she was visiting, and it was really good. It's
Mhm.
called Slip, SLIP, and
Mhm.
it's on Peacock, and it's only like 8 episodes or something like that. I thought it was really good, really well done. But what I just thought of is another show I started watching called The End of the Fucking World,
Mm.
and it's about these 2 teenagers. One thinks he's a psychopath, and the other
Oh,
one,
cool.
they run away together.
Mhm.
Like his plan is to kill her.
Mm.
Like he's a psychopath. He's been killing
Oh.
animals,
Okay.
and now he wants to graduate to killing a person.
Mm.
And they're in high school together, but they
Sounds
run
like
away
my
together.
kind of like show.
It does actually,
Yeah.
but it's more like it's very teenage, like
Okay.
teenage angst,
Mhm.
and parents and step parents, and But at one point, they're hitchhiking, and he has no shirt on because I think like they were making out in the car, and he crashed, and the car blew up, so he didn't have a shirt, and he's hitchhiking without a shirt, and a guy picks him and her up,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy is creepy, and they end up going to the bathroom together, like they both have to pee.
Yeah.
And the guy grabs his hand and puts it on his penis, and he says how, like, he's narrating, and he's like, sometimes I just let things happen because I don't know what else to do.
Right.
And I think kids, that's a huge thing.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you're
right
doing that with Sienna.
That's literally what I try to avoid.
Like, just because it's an adult doesn't make it okay.
Like, I've actually said to her before, like, what would you do if this happened? And she's like, you're so cringe. Like, oh my God, shut up. And I'm like, no,
I wish that was in her answers. Like, my mom is so cringe because everything in here is literally like the last thing. So like,
she's the best mom ever.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, actually,
I'm gonna read it. She's the best mom. She's always there for me and can help me in any way.
Oh.
But also cringe. But she didn't say that.
She didn't say that.
Maybe she thinks I'm more cool than cringe. But she has called me cringe before. But that is a good closing because I did want to read what your kids said about you to the last question.
All right.
So the first one said, being raised by a therapist doesn't mean therapy wouldn't be helpful or useful to you in categorizing emotions and behavior or learning new strategies to cope with those emotions and behaviors. This is in response to the question, if you had to write a short reflection about what it truly is like being raised by a therapist, what would you want people to understand? I
think my kids are very pro therapy, the majority of them. Like, and I think having a therapist as a parent, that's like how would I not impart how great therapy is for people? Yeah.
That first one was Ian. This is AJ. I would say my dad was a good father that separated his therapy self from his dad's self and was still able to be a great father to all his kids.
Oh, that's very sweet.
It was very sweet. Then Joe, I don't reflect on it. He's my dad that happens to be a therapist.
Okay.
Very Joe response.
Yeah.
I feel like I know them now from all these responses.
I know. I feel like I got to know them better.
So if I brought them all to meet you at some point, which is practically impossible, it would have been nice if you met my daughter.
That would have been nice. You should have invited us.
She was here for like
you didn't invite us.
I said, why don't you interview her? And you're like, all right, I'll text her. And I took that as, okay, they don't want to meet up.
Oh, I didn't know that was an option.
I'm a therapist. I analyze everything.
We didn't want to bother her.
Okay,
whatever. We're going to plan a meetup somehow.
All right. When she returns in 2 years.
No,
she comes back in 2 years.
Why in 2 years?
2 years.
She comes every 2 years.
Only?
I go the other year.
Had you told us that part of
She lives in Spain. How often do you think she's coming here?
At least once a year.
No. Every 2 years.
It's okay. Well, we're going to throw you some.
Or we'll plan a trip to Spain. Oh, I'm dying to go to Spain.
Let's go to Spain.
Okay. All right.
We'll go to Spain.
All right, cool.
The last one, Alexi. Honestly, I don't think that being raised by a therapist was harder or more complicated than a parent from other professions. If anything, as I get older, I appreciate it more and enjoy the conversations we have about mindfulness and psychology and appreciate the advice he gives. But that's probably because I'm the most well-adjusted sibling.
They all said that at different points, no?
No,
just Alexi
and Ian.
Just Alexi and Ian?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So what I learned from this survey.
So you feel you know my kids. So if I brought them, you'd be like, oh, some of it's easy because
pictures.
I've seen pictures.
That's true.
Of them.
Never mind. We can't do that.
But now I feel like we know their personalities.
Yeah, a little better.
More.
Okay.
But what I learned from this is that it seems like you were a really great dad.
Yeah.
Or are a great dad. And that they are pretty well adjusted from having a therapist.
I feel they are pretty well adjusted. I give most of the credit to their moms, honestly.
Okay. I mean, I think you had clearly joint effort. You had something to do with it as their
I try to have good communication with them, which is maybe atypical for dads.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
What was I listening to today? where a dad has like barely has any interaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were involved.
Oh, it was a podcast I was listening to today.
Right.
Esther Perel.
You
Like the
sound-
dad never says I love you. He'll build you a bookshelf, but he never says I love you. I can't build a bookshelf, so I tell them I love them.
Oh.
Yeah. So
But it sounds like you were involved with their lives.
I feel like I tried, and I tried to have good communication and like know that they could talk to me about things and try to get them to talk to me about things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
Me
Good.
too.
Okay.
Yeah.
and apparently you're doing an amazing job with Sienna. And the jury's
Thank
out
you.
with you because your kids are little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. I mean, Eddie can throw them higher than any other dad, so
It's impressive.
that's all we have. That's the only knowledge we have for Liz.
Oh. Well, I think you are a great mom, and you have wonderful examples from the two of us, so you're going to be even better.
Yeah, I sure do.
Yeah, just keep playing this episode on repeat.
Right.
Yes. Well, I feel like Sienna feels like you half raised her,
I did.
and you're probably the one that instills more fear into her. So
For sure.
that's the way you're headed.
Wow.
Well, that's a wrap on this episode of Therapist Say. I'm your host, Mel.
And your other host, Liz.
I'm the co-host, Barry.
Bye.
Ciao.
All right, that's it for today's episode of Therapist Say. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you laughed, learned something, or at least realized you're not the only one with issues.
New episodes drop every 2 weeks, so hit follow and don't forget self-care.